Imagine a world where small acts of kindness create a ripple effect of support. A world where financial struggles never stand in the way of hope. That's the vision behind Community Pay It Forward. After a life changing motorcycle accident, I saw firsthand the devastating impact unexpected financial hardships can have on families. That's why I started Community Pay It Forward, to ensure that no one faces these challenges alone. Community Pay It Forward is more than just a single program. Through community impact and pACT podcasting, people all coming together, we amplify the voices of those making a difference. And with Community Dare to Care, we provide essential goods like clothing, food, and school supplies to those who need it most, to the community, from the community, for the betterment of the community. With Community Pay It Forward, we support families, children, veterans, community projects, no matter where they are. We are not just providing assistance, but hope for a brighter future, not just for people in need, but for businesses that are out there struggling, trying to find a way. We have a plan, but we need your help to reach the next level. We're launching a crowdfunding campaign to raise $500,000. This will allow us to market the Community Pay It Forward program more effectively and to acquire a vehicle for delivering essential goods to families in need in our community, and enhance and strengthen our programs to serve even more people. And as a thank you for your generosity, we're offering special incentives for your contribution. As we tell people all the time, your donation, big or small, will help. It'll create lasting impact on our community. Join us in building a future where generosity and compassion lead the way. Visit our website today, communitypayitforward.us, or scan the QR code above and donate today. Together, we can pay it forward because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Your business is your American dream, but today opening your doors comes with tough questions. Will customers walk in? Can I stock the shelves with what they need? Can I afford salaries? And how do I compete with the big box store down the road? That is exactly why we created Community Pay It Forward. Because in hard times, we need stronger communities led by people with bigger hearts. Our Shop, Click, and Pick program makes it simple. Every purchase at a participating small business supports a cause you care about. You shop, others thrive. Even when money is tight, you can still make a huge difference. You're not just shopping, you're supporting families, nonprofits, and your neighbors. That's the power of community. That's the power of the Community Pay It Forward family. When you join the Community Pay It Forward family, you will be seen, you will be remembered, and you will be a hero for people in need everywhere. You, your business, and Community Pay It Forward. Because no one needs to go it alone. When we all.
Hello, world. My name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has the potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for. Thank you.
Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her life, left at night, stepping out of her fear. Bring me home, out alone.
Such a damn shame that this is going to be such a tough subject to be talking about, because I hear Theron's song and I just want to, dance a little bit. In which, let's be honest here, nobody in their right mind needs to see me dance. Ugh. So, but when you're a bigger guy like me, it's not really dancing. It's like, you're moving. And then when you come to a stop, it's like everything just kind of moves with you. So it's not really a dancing. Hey, everybody, my name is Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PACT channels. I want to thank everyone who is joining us. And I want to let you know that tonight, we do have a very, very sensitive subject that we're talking about. And I want you to be involved. So please, first off, like, share, subscribe to wherever you're at. That helps us out. You can also take and scan the QR code above, and you can help support us to make sure that we can continue to get this message of support for other people out. In the areas we're in right now, we have too many people who are trying to hurt too many people. That's not what we're about. We're going to talk about, and I don't give a damn what side you're on, we're going to talk about how we together can keep our individuality, yet support each other. Because, look, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The truth is, if you were just like me, we would not get along. I've already known me. I know everything there is to know about me. I need to know who you are. I want to know what you're about. And I think that's important, that we need to continue that conversation. We need to allow people to have their own thoughts. We need to allow people to have their own personalities. That's really what makes this world go. If everyone was the same person, this would be such a boring world. So, individuality is really, really important. And I need to make sure that we are sharing this message. So, any support that you can give us would greatly, greatly help. We're also offering everybody a chance to come on tonight live and talk to us about this. Here are the rules, though. We are going to be talking about hate. We are going to be talking about things that are very difficult to talk about. But if you're hateful, you're gone. There's not a second or third chance. If you start talking hateful, if you start being belligerent, and if you can't come up with solutions to problems, I'm sorry, I could just turn on other YouTube channels and hear people complaining about what's wrong. We need people who can help others find solutions. And you also need to remember one other thing, okay? And this is so very important. Once again, this is something we talk about all the time. Your solution may be perfect for a certain amount of people out there, but it is not the perfect solution for everyone. There is not one solution on earth that is perfect for everything, okay? Water does not put out every fire. Just think of it that way. Water does not put out every fire. If you've got a grease fire and you try to put water on it, well, you got a bigger fire. So remember that everybody has their own solution, but your solution could help many people out there. Just make sure that you come at it in a respectful, non aggressive tone. If you would like to join us, if you would like to come on live, you have to have your camera on. Okay? You have to have your camera on. You can join us in the chat right now. I just put the link where you can come on and join us. And if you come on, you got your camera on, you've got something to say, I invite you to come on and let's talk about this. As the video, as the podcast tonight is called, The Weight of Hate, How It Damages Your Body, Breaks Your Bonds, and Dims Your Light. There's a really good reason why I say this, okay? Your hate is not just your hate. Your hate affects everything around you, everyone around you. Your hate hurts everyone around you. I'm also going to be talking about a couple things these are one of the reasons why I can talk about this. Because I realized how ignorant hate can be, because I was making stupid choices in my life without knowing anything about it. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we have hate. We have hate because we don't know about something. When I was a younger man, I had such an intolerance for people who were gay. I didn't understand it. I could not see it. And I'll be honest with you. Ladies, I can't understand why you look at men and find us attractive some of us attractive anyway. We're just ugly creatures. So I couldn't imagine two men looking at each other going, wow, that's a good looking guy. I just don't see how that happens. But that's a little joke, kind of. I don't understand the attraction truly, but this was a hate out of ignorance. And again, this wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. I chose not to learn what it was. I chose not to see it as two people loving each other. I chose listening to other people tell me, big mistake, other people tell me, well, this is just, it's gross, or it's despicable, or it's, the one thing I never cared about was the religious views on it. As many of you know, I'm a spiritual guy. I'm not a religious guy. So, but I couldn't care if it was religious views or not. I was just, and I don't even want to say confused, because you can't be confused if you don't put forth an effort to try to learn. As I got off my ass, as I got out of my head, as I got out of my way, as I started realizing, wait a minute, not every gay guy is looking at me like he's attractive. That was a genuine fear I had. I want to talk about being a pompous asshole, thinking that everybody was attracted to you. My God. But that was a genuine fear I had. And then I realized they're just, look, people who are gay, they have the same thoughts. They just love someone else, and it doesn't matter who you love. Then I started talking to them, and I realized individuals who were gay, and I realized, wow, we have a lot in common. Then I realized, okay, we have some differences. Holy shit, wait a minute. They're just like everyone else on earth. They're just like everyone else on earth. We have things that are in common, we have things that are different. And I spent a portion of my childhood or youth sitting there throwing venom at people who didn't deserve it because I was too stupid to open my eyes. I was too afraid to find out that I might have something similar to them. See, I just say that now and I feel the anger at myself. Because I was judging people without having a damn clue. They don't have to be identical to me. They don't have to care about the same things that I care about. One of the things that this really affected, this disguided I'm sorry, misguided thought that I had. It wasn't a feeling, it was a thought. One of the people it damaged the most was my son, my oldest boy, because my oldest boy had friends who were homosexual. He had things in his life that he was like, Jesus, I can't talk to dad about this because if I say the wrong thing, my dad's going to think, whoa, he's just, and he's going to think something different about me. And I was too ignorant to see this was affecting him. I'm very, very glad that I have taken and I have stepped away from that ignorance. And I've got to learn a little bit more about everyone. And I stand away, and if there's somebody I don't understand, it's hard to understand people all the time. And that's where we're at right now. But we are spitting hate at people without giving it a shot. Now, I will also say this, and I'll say this with all honesty and all upfront as I can be. There are some people out there saying some real stupid things, and it's hard to find anything in common with them. With them. but it's possible. My wife and I, the other day, we went to one of the No Kings rallies here in Greeley, Colorado. We really enjoyed going to that. We really enjoyed meeting some certain people. And just to let you know, this I had a different reason to go to this. Okay, this wasn't. I have my own reasoning on going to this. I want to go and I want to hear what other people are thinking, what other people are going through. I fully believe that, you know what, if you're a criminal, you're a criminal. Take your just desserts. Of course, now we've got another problem because of, criminalities. But just saying, this immigration thing, look, we are a country of immigrants. I've always felt, always, that this country is not ours and we cannot claim this country. I also don't understand the words illegal anything. The only illegal people out there are people who are out there, you know. I guess you can't be an illegal people. You're not a clone. If somebody made you out of shoe leather and tried to pass you off as a human, then maybe you're an illegal something or another. Of course, this is my opinion. I understand that some people do not see it as, look, people who are here illegally are illegal. I'm not using the word that they say because it's dumb. But they're here illegally, they're breaking the law, and they are correct. Yes, they are. But that doesn't mean that we have to hate them. And that doesn't mean that we have to treat people like second class citizens who want to defend them. There are ways that we can work together. And for over 200 years, folks, well over 200 years, yeah, there's been bumpy times. There's been many, many bumpy times. But during those 200 years, I absolutely know that we have dealt with this. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Frank, it's great to see that you're joining us today. We've been able to coexist. Any of us who have ever had a beer and got into a vehicle and turned the key, we've done something illegal. Should we be kicked out of a country because we've done something that we chose to we've done something stupid? We've done something illegal? If we go down that road, this is going to be a very, very empty country. If we look back, if you do your genealogy report, those are so huge right now. Absolutely, Carolyn, I completely agree. Yep. And our families need to be okay. And that's the biggest thing right there. Our families need to be okay. And we're leaving families out to dry right now. And the people who are hating are leading their families out to dry. But anyway, if if we go down a road where your genealogy isn't planted firmly in this country for the last, 400, 500 years, guess what? You're an immigrant too. At one point in time, you are an immigrant family. Do I agree that people should be doing it correctly? Yes, by God, I do. I absolutely do believe that path to citizenship should be followed. I don't have any problem with people being upset about that. Thank you, dog. I appreciate that. I don't have any problem with people um, wanting people to do this correctly and becoming citizens. That's not, you know, help them, help them accomplish this. If anything, let's get pissed off at our government because our government right now is sitting on their ass with people who have been in the system trying to do this for years. We're pissed off at the wrong people. And the funny thing is, there's not a single one of us who have ever sat there when our paychecks come and we haven't sat there and went, how come the government's getting more of my money than I am? Yet the people who are doing it right, they're sitting there right now and they are trying to get things done. Yet that government that we're paying our paychecks every day, they're finding other ways to keep our money one and not doing what they need to do. Feelings are not facts. You're absolutely right, Frank. Feelings are not facts. If they were, everybody would be listening to metal because the fact is metal's the best music out there. That's my feeling. And again, I hate to say it, if all of you guys were listening to metal too, I probably wouldn't like it as much. I've always liked metal because it made me stand out a little bit. Um, and that's what I was talking about earlier, Frank. You're number two. I believe that that people who hate are hiding their fears. We are so afraid to find out we have something in something similar to them. We don't want to be like them, and we're afraid of them, so I'm going to hate them. When all it takes is, I'm curious. Do you do this? Why is your culture like that? Okay, I don't understand it. That's not for me, but at least now I know. I talked to I this was probably about a year and a half ago. I was talking to somebody, and she was a female from here in the United States. And she was a practicing Muslim, and she had just recently converted into Muslim. And my first thought was, what the hell is wrong with you? The Muslim culture is about holding women down. That was my first thought without thinking about anything. But then I stopped myself and I'm like, wait a minute. Here in the West, we think of women being held down by the Muslim culture. Is this true? What is your opinion on this? And she explained to me some of the things that she was, were happening with her. How she felt very comfortable and very loved in that culture. She said there are definitely different sects in the culture where there's no possible way that she could be part of it because there are people in those areas that do diminish women. Ah, wait a minute. That sounds a lot like Christianity sometimes. How we tell certain people that we need to be accepting of all, yeah, we're not accepting of all. It started putting the puzzle together and it started making me realize, wait a minute, I don't know everything. Plus, it's really kind of cool when you're looking at somebody, when you're talking to somebody, and they have no idea that you're going to ask them this crazy question. Because, it was kind of a difficult question to ask somebody. Barely knowing this lady, and I'm sitting there and I pop off, this big old fat white guy, and I pop off with the question, hey, are you out of your mind? Why are you why do you believe in a culture where, you know, you're seen as second class? And she was able to answer me in a way that I understood how she felt. Do I understand her thinking? No. Still, I don't quite understand her thinking. But then again, I don't know a lot about the Muslim culture. I'm pretty sure there's part of it that is just as beautiful as anything else. And I won't understand what they're going through unless I open my eyes, I open my heart to what they're doing. I answer my questions that way. Carol, this is really important, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, and I'm very sorry about this, but I know that you have family from Mexico. So I know that this is something that you see this going on right now, and I'd like to ask you, and please respond in the chat. Is this a fear that you have every day when you see things? In which, look, if you're not scared when you turn on the TV, you're not paying attention. Why in the hell in this country we have anything that's law enforcement that's covering their face that are not undercover cops? Why we've got people coming at people with their faces covered, and this is what I don't understand. Then they get pissed off that people are fighting back. We, as kids, we've been telling our daughters, we've been telling our children, if somebody is coming at you and you don't know who it is, run for your own safety, run. And now they're coming at us, they're coming at people with their faces covered. They're jumping out of vans. They look like they look like what the criminals were when we've in all of our childhoods. Somebody jumping out at you like that. You don't have to like everyone. You're not going to like everyone. I most certainly do not like everyone. Dare I say it? I hate their beliefs. You got it, Frank. You got it. Thank you for your answer, Carol. Carol is a citizen, but she's in daily fear. Uh, your parents are citizens, but I remember what it was like when my mom was a legal resident, and before that too. Uh, yeah, yeah, and this is another thing is that we sit there and we wonder why people are so edgy, yet we see people getting stopped at stoplights for no reason. We've heard the story of the little girl who has been deported because she failed to use her blinker. I got pulled over on my motorcycle once before I got my back patch for the VFW Warriors, and it was for a patch check because you saw the little squares on the front. So they wanted to see if I was a prospect for a one percenter group. I knew exactly what it was for. They knew exactly what it was for. But this is what I was told. I had just pulled up on my motorcycle to a car dealership and dropped off my payment for my truck. I went around the building and I was on my way to work. And the cop threw on his lights. I turned my bike off. I put my hands on the handlebars. Yes, sir. No, sir. And the reason for the stop came out. There's been a lot of auto thefts going on. We just wanted to make sure you weren't up to nothing hokey. This is where smartass Zak comes in. Took and I look back, and at this time I just had the soft saddlebags. And I looked at the cop and I said, "You want to check and see if I've got a Kia in there?" I was on a motorcycle. Obviously, I wasn't there to steal a car. I'm not going to give up my motorcycle for any car. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. Ugh. There are things out there that can be done properly, but we got to stop losing our mind and we need to get together and we need to come up with solutions instead of sitting there getting mad at everybody. We need to learn how to talk to each other across the aisle. We need to learn to talk to each other across the religious boundaries. And in no way am I a non-believer. I'm just I guess what you could say is I'm a very curious person. I want to know as much about religions as I can find. To be honest with you, I have two beautiful sons. I know there's something a hell of a lot more powerful than me out there. If you want to call him God, that you can call him God. If you want to call her God, you can call her God. I don't care what you call it. I'm going to call it something gave me my two beautiful boys. And yes, I hope you're both. I hope you're both embarrassed. I really do. Your old dad is out here trying to say something. I don't care what you call it, and I'm not going to be offended if you're going to tell me that that's one of God's creations. That's fine. That's your opinion, and you're allowed to have that because we are in a country where we're allowed to have that because of the men and women who fought in this country and gave us that right. And by those men in the first Congress or Congress, if you look at the way they wrote, and came up with that Bill of Rights and that Constitution. They gave us this right. We need to make sure that everyone is reading that and everyone is understanding that we all have the right to feel the way that we do. And we need to stop hating them when they don't feel the way that we do. I will tell you one of the things that's driving me crazy right now, and yes, this is getting a little political here, and no, I'm not going to apologize for it. This garbage about making this a white Christian country. It's the reason why this country was founded, not to be Christian. This country was found so people could love, could be who they are. We have a holiday coming up tomorrow, Juneteenth. And I know there are a lot of people who are going to sit there and probably turn me off right now because I said that there's a holiday coming up. And if you do, so long. Have a nice night. Please come back next week. See, if somebody doesn't want to celebrate July 4th because they were not free on July 4th, they have a right to celebrate another day when their when they became free, when their culture became free. They are allowed to celebrate cultures. Jewish people are allowed to celebrate other religions than us in the Christian faith. That's the reason why we do the miracle of the community that cares. We're allowed to be us. I challenge everybody who's watching right now. And again, I want to thank everybody so much for sticking with us. I want to thank everybody who's supporting us by the comments you guys are making me feel great. You really do. But I challenge you all to do something. And I'm not going to challenge you to go out there and tell someone out there that you love them because you know what? That's up to you. But stand up to somebody and say, you know what? I don't have time for your hate. Stand up to someone and say, you know what? Take your venom and go another direction with it because I don't want to hear it. this ridiculousness right now that we've got so many people on welfare that don't belong on welfare because they're from another country. I hate to tell you this. I've been in the lower social ladder my entire life. I know just as many people who are as pale as I am that have been bucking the system for years. I know people who could take and turn a decent situation into basically a money making situation for them. Saw it all the time. It disgusted the hell out of me. Again, people who are hating on people for abusing the system need to take a look and make sure that they're not focusing on one people because this is an all people thing. Jobs have been one of the things that for hundreds of years, jobs have been a problem. People talk about them coming from another country and taking jobs. That's the employers, folks. The right leaning side of me right here is going to say, you know what? If they are going to hire somebody who's here to work hard to support their family, to pick onions in fields, I'd much rather them do that and pay $2.35 for a bag of onions rather than pay $19.50 for the same 5-pound bag of onions because, well, I'm not going to work for less than minimum wage. I'm not going to work for less than, $20 an hour. And that's what we're going to say stuff like that. Well, yeah, there's a job to do out there, but they're going to pay me to do it. We got to wake up. We have got to wake up. Nobody is right all the time. And I say this with my tongue firmly between my teeth because I'm not sure how much I believe this one, but nobody is wrong all the time. One example, and I've stated this many times that I'm not a huge fan of this administration, but there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse out there. There's tons of it. I also believe that they know that where there are tons of it and they're purposely avoiding it because they know that's where they can get a lot of that money from. But say instead of me just sitting there saying, "Well, you're wrong. You're all wrong. You can't do that. We got to come up with a solution." Because if we just sit there and tell somebody all the time that they're wrong, it's kind of like telling your kid that they're wrong. They're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. But we never tell them that what they need to do. What do we want to do? Do we just want to sit here and allow them to continue to try to do things until they find out what's right? Guess what? They're going to quit before they, well, there's just no satisfying you. Compromise is a huge word. And the truth is, compromise means nobody goes away with everything. Nobody wins with compromise. But the wonderful thing about it is nobody completely loses. So if we're having a conversation with someone and they're stuck in their way, compromise with them. Hey, I can see where you're at. This is not where I'm at, but let's change the subject. Well, the Rockies really suck this year, don't they? And if they say no, they don't, I'm sorry, but they're useless and they just need to go away because the Rockies do suck this year. So do the Royals, and I'm a huge Royals fan. Now, I've carried on with this a lot longer than I wanted to because there were other things that I really needed to talk to you about. And this is very important. If you know somebody right now who is having problem with themselves when it comes to hate, or maybe someone in their life is beating them down mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is, because of hate, there are places to look. Please make sure that, and here's another thing I'm going to ask you to do. Here's another favor. And you can also help support us. Please make sure that you scan the QR code, donate if you can, because we really want to get this done as well. We are trying to compile a book that's going to have every resource we can find, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's something like hate, whether it's people who are dealing with problems of hate crimes. We want to get together a national database of places that no matter where they are, people can feel safe. We need your help to do this. If you know somebody who contributes to helping other people, please make an introduction to us. I see the Trevor Project in there, and that just living in northern Colorado, folks. I remember that story very well. I was living right here in Greeley when that happened, when that situation happened, and those kids took that young man because he was gay. They took him into Wyoming and they killed him. That actually, you know what? To be honest with you, that happened while I was going through my ignorant stage. But that did open my eyes, realizing that, you know what, nobody deserves to die because of who they are. I roll that back a little bit. There are certain people who we can do without because of the way they are, and those are the ones who are hating. But the truth is you know what? You can change. As it was mentioned earlier, stop being afraid to find out what is scaring you about people. You may come find out that, you know what, there's a hell of a lot more alike than you ever thought. Hurt people hurt other people. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Listening to people, listening to people is so important. And I would go one step further with you on that, Carol. The truth is that we can listen to people, and we can really listen to people. And that's something that is so very important, because if you listen to somebody with one of these in your hands, you're not listening to them. If somebody comes to you with a problem, you got to put the phone away. And I've always said this as well. And this is something that I really need you to take into consideration. You don't have to be the one that's there to rescue them. It is not your job to rescue anyone. But maybe if we can put together this database, you can find the number for them, and you can make sure that they find that person that can help rescue them. Don't ever walk away from a situation thinking that they're going to be okay. until you know they're okay. And people who are in pain, they're going to tell you, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay." And that's going to stick in your head when those are the last words you hear from them, because you didn't see through what they're saying. You've got to really listen to people. And it's a hell of a lot harder than you think it is. Lynn, this ought to be a little amusing to you, but you got to kind of learn how to become a medium at that point in time. You have to learn how to read them deeper than just them. You have to get in there, you have to learn who they are. You have to be able to read their emotions more than their words. Because people are going to tell you all the time, "Yeah, I'm okay." And for those of you who are out there, if you're not okay, stop saying you are. If there's something out there that angers you enough to where you can use the word hate, and I can do something, or somebody around you can do something to help introduce you to a different view or offer you a different side, please reach out. Go to somebody. There's all kinds of people out there who don't believe the way you do. Don't look at them as enemies. Look at them as opportunities to learn. As humans, we learn every day we live. When we stop learning, we're done. With that, stop being set in your ways. This is a great point, Carol. I completely agree with you here. There is a huge difference between listening and hearing. My wife says that sometime quite often, and I have to say, wow, that's a weird place to start a conversation. She's getting off work. I got to watch my ass or I'm going to get it kicked. So, again, this is not an easy thing to sit here and listen to. This is not something that's really a lot of fun to talk about, but it's something important. And I know it's important because you feel it too. But we got to do something. This is almost like voting, in a way of, if you don't vote, you shouldn't complain when things go to crap. If we can't come together and come up with solutions, then we don't care enough about the problem to do something about it. Let's work together, folks. Let's come up with some solutions. Please make sure that if you need these numbers below me, reach out to me. I'm going to try to find a way to attach them to the website, communitypayitforward.us. Communitypayitforward.us. I'm going to attach them to the website. That way they're going to be there at all times. We do want to get this started to where there's going to be a place to where, no matter what your problem is, when it comes to mental health, there's always somebody that you can call. But again, remember that it might take more than one call. We're not all in the same area where the one solution is going to work for all of us. Like I said before, water does not put out every fire. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. And I want to offer you the chance to come on and talk to me if you've ever got anything that you would like to say. If you would like to share share your company, what you do with people, simply scan one of these two QR codes, and you can get on my calendar. You can get to know a little bit more about me. We can have a one-on-one, and we can do some amazing things together. The green QR code over here, that's my calendar. That's how you can get on my calendar, and we can have a one-on-one. And this little fellow over here, that's my For My card, one of our wonderful mission or giving partners. Anytime that you purchase your own For My card and you say Community Pay It Forward sent us, they're going to give us a little bit of money back because you shopped with them. And that money turns into a donation to someone who has asked for help, because that's Community Pay It Forward way. We turn all your shopping into donations. We're taking care of people because you cared enough to shop with our partners. Folks, please love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. I want to thank you so very much for joining me today. I want to thank you for joining me on this extended show. I want to thank you for your input. And I want to thank you for caring. Again, if you know somebody who needs to talk, let them talk. If you know somebody who needs help, let's find them help. If you're a person who's sick and tired of hating, find somebody on the different side. Learn. Hate truly is just an absence of knowledge. The only thing really to hate is ignorance. Because if you don't want to learn about something, well, you want to continue to hate. That's just it. Please, if you've got an old hoodie, no longer fits you, throw it in your car. Don't take it to a yard sale. Don't take it to a thrift store. If you see somebody out in the community who's battling with the elements, throw them that hoodie. It means nothing to you, means everything to them. Did you make a little bit too much dinner tonight? Don't put it in your fridge. You know it's just going to go to waste. Throw it in the old butter bowl, the old hillbilly Tupperware. Put it in the microwave, zap it for a couple minutes, and take it to your neighbor who's shut in. Or take it to that person down the street that you saw when you were driving home from work and they were sitting out on the street hungry. Means nothing to you, means everything to them. Helping people does not mean pulling out your wallet all the time. It means using that thing that God put on the top of your skull, on top of your shoulders. Let's work to help everyone. My name is Zak Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. I want to thank you again. And please remember, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.
Say, bring me home, out alone, you show me the way. You wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear to be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
Say goodbye to just clicking and picking. The future of giving back starts with our new way to connect. It's download, select, shop, and support. Download our free community Pay It Forward app. It's your gateway to shopping with purpose and supporting the causes that you care about. You tell us who you'd like to support by selecting your mission. Whether it's helping veterans, feeding families, or supporting local schools, your purchases help fund real change. Shop like you normally do. No extra steps, no added costs. Just make your everyday spending count by choosing one of our partner businesses. Every purchase you make turns into real support. A percentage goes directly to your selected cause. It's automatic, it's effortless, and it's powerful. You're not just a customer, you're a partner in making a difference. Our app makes it easy for you to track your impact and share it with all of your friends. So why just shop when you can shop with a purpose? Download, select, shop, and support because your choices matter. When you shop with the Community Pay It Forward partners, no one needs to go it alone when we all